So it should be live, so I'm just gonna cover Bitcoin real quick and what I've been kind of thinking and looking over. So the daily hidden bullish divergence that I had played out. So you had a higher low, MACD went farther down, created a hidden bullish divergence, and we had a pump from the reaction. We do have a channel here, and we're close to the top of the range of the channel, which is like 25.2, I believe we're at, somewhere around there. So we could get one more last pump tomorrow and maybe get a pullback. What I would be looking for a pullback, if we want to maintain bullish structure, would be a pullback to, let me find the right chart. This area right here. So I'd be looking at 23.7. And if you scroll all the way back, it's kind of like the top of the range that you had over here too, so you could find some support above that. And if you just look at the daily candlesticks, you have them kind of bumping up against it right here, and then you're chilling on top of it here too. And then you also have the daily closes over here that you had as well. So potentially get a little bit more of a pump and we can pull back there. I do want to see that hold. That would be a really good area to hold for continuation up. And people are going to want a major pullback, but if we truly are bullish, we're not going to get a major pullback on Bitcoin. Bitcoin will do what Bitcoin does, and it'll pull back a little bit. People are going to be greedy, and they're going to be wanting to get this big old fair value gap down here, and we're just going to front run them, and then we'll come back and test that later. But I would want to see a pullback down between like 23,700, 23,800. But we could always dip farther. But if that level is lost, then you're back into the range with this. It would have just been like a deviation out of this, and you're back into this little range here, and you could go down and test lower here. So I'm going to keep my eyes out on this one right here and see what happens. But so far, we're good. We had the highest daily candle close since June. So that is super bullish. And if you're looking at this on even like, I know this one doesn't have much data, but the monthly, I mean, this looks fantastic. You're above the 23.2 level that we had in July and August. So if we have 2 more weeks, we can close above that. I mean, this thing could close way up here by the end of these 2 weeks. It would be crazy if we saw a candle close above 32K by the end of February. Not impossible though. So that's what I'm looking at now. Potentially a slight pullback over the weekend, and we see what happens from there. If you made a lot of profits, if you're up big, make sure you can lock some stuff in if you do get a pullback, because if you get a pullback, you might try to sell into the pullback, and when you could have just taken profits a little bit earlier, you're not always going to get the exact top. But if you're in from way lower, I still feel like you're safe right now if you want to hold. Specifically on Bitcoin, alts can always pull back a little bit harder, but some alts could also fully send. Let's go to dollar. So the dollar, I really want to see reject from this level. If you're really scanning out on this thing on the weekly, it could go up all the way up to 106, but this is also a significant level here that we could see a rejection from. You have the top over here, January 17, and we're kind of back testing it right now. So we haven't really gotten a pullback yet. We got to see if we're going to pull back or we're going to pump through this. We could pump through it, but I still think Bitcoin can go higher here, but it is in a risk off area. So just be careful. See if we hold certain levels and if we're going to stay up there for now or if we're going to chop around. But watch the dollar as well. Sometimes these things can decorrelate. We might just be getting a bearish back test on the dollar here. And if this is the case, go down on the daily on this to really scan this. If this is the case and this is just the bearish backtest and the dollar nukes from here, you guys better buckle up because we're gonna pump like crazy. Bears are gonna be screwed. So just be careful. Especially with the dollar, I mean, you're at a resistance and you're sitting pretty much at a resistance here on the DXY too. I mean, if you pull it off like that, it looks like it regained support. But ultimately depends if you take it to the bodies or if you take it to the candlesticks. So just be careful. We probably get a reaction either direction here shortly. It's not one of those areas that you want to go gig along. Your area that you wanted to go long was on the dip a couple days ago. So the S&P, I had this level down here from back in May 21 area where I wanted to see hold on this retest. So we broke out of the downtrend finally, and then we looked for a retest, and this was the most obvious area that I would see that we would retest and try to hold a support. We did it here, we did it right here. We have the top of the candlesticks of the B point of the harmonic here. We broke out above it, and I was looking for a retest to hold that, and then to send the S&P hopefully up to 4,500. And I want all this to be done before May. Sell in May, go away. We have a Fed meeting on May 5th. I have fib circles that line up with the harmonic to a T, that if they hit the harmonic completion zone, it would be on May 5th. It would be the same time as the Fed meeting. And I'm pretty sure there's also a eclipse on that day, which I know people don't like lunar cycles and all that stuff too, but I mean, look what happened when we had the last one with FTX. Had like a blood moon or whatever it was called. I don't know. Ask Marin, the witch lady. But that stuff does have an effect sometimes, and we do have a Fed meeting here. It's either the 4th or the 5th, I believe. So if that lines up, I mean, we could be looking at 4,500, 4,569 S&P around that date if this plays out. And so far we broke out. There's nothing bearish about a breakout like this. Next resistance, logical resistance, is going to be up here if we keep pumping. So look for something in this zone too. You can fine tune it if you want me to, but somewhere in this area you want to watch out for your next resistance on the way up. And if we do get up to this, Bitcoin's probably at 36K, between 33 36K. And then if S&P pulls back, Bitcoin pulls back, maybe we don't fully nuke from there, maybe we do, then that's when you want to buy that dip too. On the daily, oh wow, you got a nice and tight trigger wave here. So if this thing starts to turn green again, you got a little trigger wave like this, you could see the stock market just go absolutely crazy next week. All right, let's go to ETH. I'll point out Bitcoin dominance real quick first. Another reason I took this Bitcoin trade, same thing. We had a double hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin dominance. So I thought Bitcoin would have a big pump because you have literally higher low, and MACD just kept getting lower and lower. So you just have this massive hidden bullish divergence 2 times on Bitcoin dominance. So that's why I went heavy into Bitcoin on this pullback, because I was expecting a big pump on this, and it played out pretty well. You had a nice pump, and this is just turning green, so I mean, this thing can keep going. Bitcoin could fly from here. You broke out on Bitcoin dominance as well. So Bitcoin dominance was in a downtrend. We did see some alts rally while Bitcoin kind of stayed steady for those couple weeks. But now we do have a breakout, and this breakout goes all the way back to mid-January-ish. So after that first initial impulse leg up from Bitcoin, so potentially what we could see is pull back, retest the support, and go. This might be where alts rally on this little pullback, and then Bitcoin prepares itself again, and Bitcoin goes. Total. So total market cap, I called this out in the Discord. Let everybody know that total was sitting on support. Same exact thing as Bitcoin. We had this just massive hidden bullish divergence, and we got a breakout on total market cap here on the RSI. So look for maybe a little pullback and get that retest, and then that next retest is, if you get a little pullback on some things, that's another good area to look for longs. But yeah, we held this support perfect. I mean, just had all this resistance prior, it was support here, and resistance here. You broke out, and then you retested it into support. I mean, I don't know why people were thinking this was bearish. You literally took this high out, and now you look for a low, higher low at support, and then you go long, and then there we go. So that's kind of what I was looking at on total. And this kind of like a good way to just look at the crypto market in general is chart in total. If total is bullish, your coins are probably going to go up. Total 3 broke out finally with strength today. So this is the big breakout on altcoins that I want to see. So hopefully we can get some good altcoin runs here shortly too, especially if Bitcoin cools off. Let's go over Doge real quick. So this is the most significant chart on Doge that I like to look at, because if you look on the weekly here, you have a breakout. You have the top of the weekly candles over here. This is like the clearest long entry on Doge that you can get. Literally doesn't get any better than this. You have a just breakout on the weekly. You have a retest of the top of the weekly candle closes in February 21st. And you're holding it as support perfectly. You've tapped it twice now. Literally perfectly. 1 and then pretty much 2 here. So Doge looks like it wants to keep going. 14-15 cents is one of my targets for this. If you break it down on the daily, you failed this little trend line that we had. We tapped it so many times, man. That thing was bound to break. And now that we fell through, could be looking for resistance in the mid of this B point up here. But ultimate targets of this bat or shark that you have here, you're looking for this shark to complete up here at around 14 cents, between 14 cents and 14.8. So this is what I'm looking at for Doge for my targets eventually. The daily looks good with the MACD. It's starting to curl up. So this is looking pretty good over here. Just wait for the send next. On the daily RSI, I mean, this little one broke out. Maybe look for a retest on that. On Doge, you can just draw this on the daily, see if you get a retest above that, right at the 50 maybe, and hold the 50 for bullish continuation on the daily, on the breakout, and you should be good to go on that. So keep your eye on that. That retest right here, especially this level, man. It's probably the level I already have marked. I forget why I marked this level. Oh yeah, that's why. Right around the highs over here. So keep an eye on that level. If we come back down and touch like 0.086 on Doge, right around that area, could be a good area to punt it. ETH. so I have just a massive fib circle on this. I don't know if I like this one. Let's just look at this for now. All right, so lower time frame. We had an alternate bat that played out. So we had 0.4, 382 pretty much, 0.76, and then this leg is a little extended here, but it still played out to the alternate bat. Actually, I think that should be good. Your 1.13 would have bought here, 1475, and you pumped cents. So that looks pretty good. We do have a potential macro harmonic, literally up to like 3200, 3269 for the memes, which is a pretty good level if you look at it. So we do have that. We have smaller ones, just levels to watch out for. So we do have one here. I think this is the Cipher or Shark. Cipher 786, so 1850. Careful at 1850 for ETH. But ultimately, I mean, you could come up to this 2000 area, top of this X point and the B point of this larger harmonic, and be careful for this area as well, because it also lines up over here. So $2,000 ETH could be in the picture. On the daily, same thing. I don't know how people were super bearish. I even had this drawn out. I mean, just hidden bullish divergence, just the power of being able to look at a chart, being able to see continuation in a chart with hidden bullish divergence showing continuation to the upside. It's just such a powerful thing to implement into your trading strategies. And same thing, you really break this down, you go to the 4 hour, you probably can find a little trend line down here that we sat on. Hidden bullish divergence, broke out.
Graham.
Good to go. Hold on, I gotta mute someone's mic. Kindick, I'm gonna mute you for a little bit. So these are the targets for Ethereum to watch out for: 1850, 225, 2025. You get above 2025, you're talking, I mean, watch for these areas next, these next macro weekly resistance areas, probably right around here, 2500. It's probably going to be a good area to watch out. Psychological number too. And then ultimately 3269 potentially, which would be nuts. See what happens. I mean, if we do get super bearish, I mean, I think we would go up and at least complete this harmonic first, but we'll just wait and see what happens, you know what I mean? If something changes and we start to go down, then you adjust, you play accordingly. But for now, it looks like the trend has been up. Aave, so I was looking at Aave, what was it, yesterday, the day before, and we had the 50-day moving average, 200 moving average. We came down and we bounced from them perfectly, and this one had a massive hidden bullish divergence too. Everything was printing hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence at the 50-200 day moving average, hits that. I said target would be up here at the D point, at least 104 for like a potential cipher pattern that you have here. I know it's not perfect, but watch for a reaction there. And this a lot cleaner chart just to kind of show you. Higher levels than that, I mean, go to the 886 potentially on this, which might line up a little bit better with the chart. Maybe the 886. But if you get out, if you got in down here when I was talking about it, at like 76 to like 80, and you get out at 105, who cares if it goes to the 886 and then rejects? All right, so you got a pretty nice Gartley potential pattern here as well, 136. So I didn't even see this one until now, but watch 136 as well if we keep going. This could be another good move. So you got that. You have a potential bat up here at 181. I mean, I think this is too far. Yeah, way too far. So those would be some levels that I would be looking at for some rejections on Aave if we continue upwards. Is Algo finally breaking out? I want to see it above this. I really want to see it above this daily moving average. And we were in a massive channel here. I'm just going to use the ray for now just so I can make it a little bit more pinpointed. It looks like we're above it. So this could be when Algo finally breaks out. And Algo's been lagging so bad, man. So bad. So if this holds, I mean, this looks like a good spot buy to me if you want to buy spot. But I mean, you get above that 200, this thing can have fireworks. Algo could fly. Let me go to a chart that potentially has more data on this. Got like a power of 3 thing going on here too. I think I had on my previous chart. So we do need to flip this into support here. You're right below it. Literally right below this key level. You flip this into support, Algo can fly. Right above it, 200-day moving average as well. So yeah, this was actually the correct channel that I had. If you scroll all the way back, you're almost above that key level. And with the way things are going, you might be able to just buy the spot now. But yeah, we flip this and you're good to go, man. Let me put that back. I don't know if I had that measured or what. So I'm not sure if this was something I measured at all. It might have been. I don't even know if this is. Yeah, see, it's not good, not good. And this is too low. I mean, you could try to put one up here. So that's, I think this is exactly what I did. Because it did line up with this daily candlestick over here of the body. But it's not good. It's not too pretty. But you could see 56-cent algo. I mean, this could be a logical resistance area. And also this B point over here, always watch out for these. Get that marked off on your chart. But ultimately something like this, I mean, algo could really fly. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on this. I wanna see this level flip and probably just get in. I have spot from algo at 17 cents still. Literally 17 cents I got in on algo and spot. So it's just been such a slow runner so far, so I'm hoping that we can get a big move soon. But let's see where I literally so low. I think there's more data on this too on a different chart. Yeah, it was this one. It was because it was at the midpoint of the channel, I think, that I bought, but I just bought everything when it was down low like that. I bought a lot of coins. I bought a bunch of AI coins. GRT was one of my main ones. All those AI coins I bought. I got algo, I got some QNT, Render, Gala, a couple other things. But I mean, this thing's on breakout alert, man. You could probably just go in and be fine. But like I said, probably better to wait and see if we get a pullback or something over the weekend. Maybe alts fly over the weekend while Bitcoin cools off. That could also happen. Good little cheat sheet just to look at for that. If you guys want, you can take a screenshot of this or take a picture of it with your phone maybe, but it's in the cheat sheet section of my Discord. So what happens, you get that Bitcoin impulse move up. Major alts are kind of like just consolidating a little bit. They did move today though. And then you get Bitcoin kind of range bound, it cools off, alts play catch up, so you'll start to see major alts start to run. Then you see a little bit of a pullback in both Bitcoin, major alts, low caps really send it, and then you have Bitcoin pump again. For a bullish scenario or bearish scenario, it fades. So we'll see what happens. That could definitely play out, something like this. Charted ApeCoin, I'll just pull it up real quick. Had a pretty significant level I was looking at for 583 to flip. Ultimately, you want to get above 640. Get above 640, you could potentially take this trade up from 640 up to about 22% on ApeCoin to around 780. And you could just honestly try to sell right at the top of this here too. You have a very close, it's not perfect, but very close Gartley pattern on this. We have Aptos. We had a nice 886 retest here. We got an Aptos around 13 bucks if you listen to the call or the trade setup. And then you had your targets at your 382 and your 0.5. So those were the two targets that I had marked off for you. And these were the two targets, so you would hit both targets. So I've already scaled some out of Aptos. The rest, stop loss is break even, and then hold the rest to see if we can hit this new all-time high if we get that Bitcoin continuation and Aptos pops off. I think same thing happened on Aptos. I mean, just look at this. Look how far down this went since its coin's existence. You just put in a massive higher low. Massive. Look what happens. I mean, we're probably going to get a massive pump on Aptos if things keep up. New all-time high. Even had a little retest here. Where did that retest pop up? Ah, the exact bottom, right? Almost. One day before. Perfect. Could have bought in right where we got in and rode this thing up. You might get that pullback now after you hit that 0.5, so watch for a pullback. Can always come back down in this area. But I have my stop loss down here. We'll see what happens. Took most of the trade off. Adam decided to fuck around and come back. Same thing, hitting bullish divergence on this. I don't think it broke out. I think it's one of the only ones that hasn't broke out yet. Slow mover. Currently on the daily, still not looking like it's ready to go yet. You want to watch this breakout, come back, hook, go. Doesn't have to hook, but it can. If it does, that's where you buy. But it has some pretty harmonic setups on this one. You got like a perfect 786 here. So you got your 1272. I have another chart that has these marked off. But you got your 1272 around 2440, I think it was. Then you also have a bat structure for the 886 here, and these both kind of line up in the same zone, right? So $30 for one Atom coin you could potentially get. Look for this area. But like I said, look for that 24 area too, because you do have a lot of resistance in this area. So look around here too for another resistance on Adam. So far it decided to fake that breakdown here and then reclaim, and it's pumped since. So I ended up not taking this trade because I was expecting it to hold here, and did not hold. Yeah, sorry, can't talk. But it faked out, went down, and came back up. So I'm not touching it. Adam's not been my favorite trade, probably my least favorite coin to trade, other than Chainlink. But I haven't touched Chainlink in forever. It just sucks. Speaking of Chainlink, I might buy it if and when this harmonic completes. And my shit froze. There it goes. So Chainlink, bullish bat, looking for 886 down here. So once this completes, Chainlink versus Bitcoin, then I could be looking for a long on Chainlink. But until then, I am not touching Chainlink. Magic. Oh, dude, I love this fucking coin. Just trades so well. And it's super bullish. Arbitrum. So we had a shark, 4 hour. So almost like a perfect 4 hour shark. I mean, you have your 0.5 plus or minus 0.3 away. You have a 1.13. You get right down here. You get your 886, and look at that. You get right in the zone down here. Stagger your bids, and we've had a from top or bottom to top 45% move in like a couple days. I called this one out in the Discord for some people. I'm not sure if you got in, but killer move. Matic's just been absolutely sending, and it looks like it wants to keep going. Next target's like 145. Dude, I had a long for Matic at 95 cents, right where this line was, right when it initially broke out of this massive downtrend, but sold at 118, and now it wants to keep going. So this thing looks like it could go a lot higher. I mean, we have targets for a lot higher. And it wasn't looking realistic with the fib circles and the harmonics for a little bit. Looking for like an end of February price of 158, not 100, 158 around. I mean, right around the time of like February 26, February 28. You might get there a lot sooner. And you could even go up and touch the top of this channel here that we've been in. But I mean, it's looking realistic, man. Had a crazy pump. Came down. You've been respecting fib circles so perfectly. Bounced off it. Found resistance at this one. If you see it curve, found resistance. Bounced in between. Finally pumped off of it to the next. Just look how clean this has been. Right off the fib circle. So probably looking for $1.58 Matic end of February. Maybe sooner. Rose. This one's been a beauty. Oh, it's still going. Let's go. So I'm still in Rose from 68 or hold on, let me check. 0.068, I think. And I have not sold anything of Rose. So I'm honestly looking to see if this harmonic can complete at 17 cents. But I will scale some off right around 11 cents. I am in from 0.06837, so my entry is like right here on Rose. And the reason we took this trade, dipped a little bit farther than I wanted it to. I did want like 0.072 to hold, which was like right around this area if you're looking on the daily. But it dipped farther. It dipped to this candlestick over here, I believe. So like right around here, even farther, right around there. So either way, I went diving, scuba diving for a little bit, held it negative, added to my trade when it went farther down, and toughed it out. And now we're in good profits. Currently up 24% for my entry. DYDX, I forgot about DYDX. So these are some levels I marked out that I will be scaling out. Ultimately, I do want to hopefully run the whole trade up to here if we can. But, and I remember getting in down here on this pullback too. This was a beautiful entry right around here, I think. Or actually down here. When it squared up with this A over here. This was our first long, if anybody remembers this. Right here. It's where I bought some spot too. But ultimately, with this one, scale out, and hopefully ride the rest up here. DYDX. I mean, this chart was beautiful. It was just a matter of, did you have the perseverance to stay in the trade when it dipped farther than you wanted it to dip? And I did, and I added. So, I mean, this chart was just like beautiful. I mean, you just have this perfect area on the weekly where I had bids, and I'm in from like 245, I think. $243 is my average. So place bids in here. I think 243 is like right in the middle of it almost. So my entry's here. And look at this weekly candle close, man. If we close this week above this, that's super bullish. You have a weekly bullish engulfing candle on top of a back test on 2 weekly candles. I mean, out of a range that we've been in for almost a whole year of range that we just back tested, and people were bearish. I mean, this thing looks crazy. You flip this thing upside down, tell me you're not shorting the fuck out of this. I'm not long in that, that's for sure. I mean, look at that, just weekly candle back test. This thing could melt downwards. I'll be holding this one. Obviously, I have some areas where I do want to risk off, take some off the trade, but if I can see if I hold some of this or a little bit higher here, I mean, this thing could really move. Filecoin. I want to see a breakout on this. It's been holding this level. I mean, this is the level I've been talking about to people for a while. And I entered a long back here because I thought it was actually going to do it, and it didn't do it, and it got rejected. So now we're just waiting. Like, I want to see a breakout here, and maybe I'll try Filecoin higher. Maybe I'll just buy a little bit higher if we get a breakout and a retest on this. Because this thing can move. It definitely can move. We have higher harmonics. Still have a cipher pattern here. This was going to be original trade. I got shaken out of it. I didn't feel like holding it this whole time. There's opportunity cost for being in something else. But now we can potentially raise this if we flip this level up here and maybe move our stop loss here and try to run this trade. Looking for February 28th to March for this target to hopefully hit if we do get a crazy pump on this. So still could be a good trade. Wait for this breakout. I have alerts set. Look for above like 590, 580, and this could be a really good trade to run up. such a consolidation. I mean, this thing is building. Daily looks good. It looks like the daily RSI broke out. It's lagging right now. Or it's dead. Either. FTM. I'm in FTM right now. Fantastic, fantastic backtest it had. So, looking on 3-day or the weekly even. I think I was looking on 3-day, but that weekly backtest is fantastic too. So I was looking on the 3-day with this, top of this candlestick here, and just perfect entry, man. I mean, look at this fallen wedge that we had. Just beautiful break out of the fallen wedge and just send. This thing has just sent. And there you have thin air. There is literally nothing here other than here. I mean, take that back. There's a little bit right here. We can break past that. I mean, you can go up to $1. So keep our eyes on this one. I'm currently in from 44 cents on this. So my entry is right about here on this. So, and I mean, this thing's looking bullish, man. There's no reason for me to sell it yet. I want to see if we can get into this green box, maybe scale some off there, and then see if we can go above that and hold it to even up here, man. It just looks fantastic though. Look at this. It's still going. I think it's had like a 30% move at least from the bottom. Oh my god, 44%. I'm in from 44 cents though, 45 cents. So yeah, I'm at 30%. Crazy, massive move. All right. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover for now. Right before I end it, I do have a Bitcoin what the heck is this thing called again? Fractal, Kaleo's favorite, that called Bitcoin to pretty much hit these levels here. Yeah, I mean, it pumped a lot quicker than I expected. Thought it was going to do it on Friday, which is tomorrow, but that's fine. I don't care. But you line it up, you can see this kind of where we topped at on the fractal. Looks like we could get that pull down, back down to like 23.5, maybe 23.7, 23.8 area. Don't be surprised if we get a little pullback down there. It's no big deal. I mean, it's really not. That's nothing. It's literally like maybe 4% pullback, and then look what happens after if this actually plays out. You get that 33, 34K that I've been calling out for ages now. So 34.3. Let's see if this thing plays out, man. It's gonna be fantastic if it does. Just such a great candle that we had today. Just insane. Look at that. That might have been one of the largest daily candles we've had in, what is that? It was a 9% candle on Bitcoin. Other than the bearish ones, I mean, these are, yeah, those are massive. Oh, I gotta do it this way though. Other than bearish, I mean, I think that is the biggest daily bullish candle that we've had since here. Since September. So it's nice to see 10% Bitcoin candles in a day. I mean, how many billion is that? But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. In some really good positions right now. Accidentally almost hit close all on my trades. That would have been bad. But other than that, I mean, everything I think has been looking good. Maybe we get some chop around the weekend. We get a pullback. And that's where you want to maybe look for some strong alts, see kind of what the narrative is, and see if you can buy those. You're not going to probably get a major pullback yet. If you do, I mean, who knows? Maybe my thesis is wrong, but just wait and see what the price does and react. Let price tell you where it's going, and don't say, oh, the price is going here because I think so, or blah, blah, blah. No, let price react. You react to the price. You trade based on the price. But that's it. Make sure you scale out if you're up big, if it's life-changing money, or if it's a really big trade and you were down bad and you were taking some hits and you get a big trade, go flat, man. Just go flat and chill for a little bit. There's always another trade. But thank you, everybody. I am going to shut off the YouTube, and I'll hang out in the Discord if anybody wants to.